Okay, welcome back. So now I will explain two concepts related to blocking with the sword. So the first thing what we have been using here the whole time is to oppose the attack. So if he is cutting against to my head here, I will put my own sword here. So I will oppose his force with my own force. So this requires also from my part strength, because if I'm very weak he will come in and cut me. So it's like, so if he cuts, we are cutting through. Also from the other side, so we are, and the whole point here is to stop the swords in the middle so that he cannot reach me. So this works really well. And the same story is for legs. So if he's cutting down, I'm also opposing his sword, and also from the other side. So he can't reach me, but I of course cannot reach him. So this is something we call like meeting the force, so opposing the force. And this is the basis of using the sword, of course, the easiest way, the most safe way, but there is another way. So we completely reverse the idea here. Now, why this is important? So we can end up in a situation that his sword is on his right and my sword is here on my left. So when he is attacking now, if I would be doing this standard movement here, cross cut, I'm just helping him to cut me. So this is not gonna work. This will get me killed. So I have to do something else. And one possibility here, what we're going to go through now, is follow the force. So instead of stepping here right where he is striking, so this works if you are opposing the force. Now I'm actually giving a little bit more speed to his sword and then cutting him. So this is much more difficult to do in practice, but if you can pull this off, it works really well. And also, instead of going here, so this would be the normal case, I'm gonna be putting some speed to his sword, and I'm going this way. So I'm moving to his backside really, and then I'm cutting from here. So let's see how this actually goes. So if you cut from the high, so it goes like this. So I hope we are in the picture. Yes. So now this changes things completely. I'm gonna still be using the easy stepping. So I'm stepping to the side where my back foot is. But now I'm cutting cross cut, but I'm actually giving some more speed to his sword. I'm also redirecting his sword. So now if you start here, you might be late. So you better start a little bit closer. And you don't need so much power here, because you're just touching his sword basically. So if, for example, if I cut here and now he cuts, this is the end situation here. I can cut him multiple times from there. So let's do it a few times. So he comes in. So it's still the same motion, but I'm pushing his sword over there. So let's change sides, you can see it more easily. So he will cut to my head. So I'll just put it there. You don't have to be super fast here, just fast enough so that you can catch his sword. So if you practice this, be really careful. Any mistake and his sword is gonna be on your head. So it's not that. So I'm still doing the same cross-cut motion here, what we have been used to. Only now I'm moving to different side and I'm giving some speed to his sword, and then I'm cutting here. So he's gonna be having hard time to cutting me from there. And the same story if he cuts from his left. Hello, sir. If you cut here, so he's cutting my head here. Now instead of moving here and putting my sword as a cross block, I will instead go to this side and give some speed to his sword and cut here. And this now, especially his sword is free, so if I mess up, he can come back at me. So we have to do good stepping here. But the same thing, I'm gonna be using the simple stepping. So he cuts to my head, I'm gonna cut his. It's like that. Still using the cross kind of block. And you don't need a lot of strength here. Just touch his sword and bang, bang. Really, really, really simple. But be very careful, any mistake and it's in your head. Okay, so same story then. Let's change sides for some fun. So, what if my left foot is forward? So previously I was stepping here, so this is the easy step, right? But now if I'm already here and my sword is here and he's cutting to my head once again, I shouldn't go here. No, do not go forward, because then you will get cut. This is not the correct way. We have to move to the side the sword is coming from. So we are going to be using the skip step once again. So skip step for review is this. We are going to be moving the back foot to the front foot, so they are next to each other, and then without tripping over to these laces, step forward with the left foot again here. So we are just moving like sideways here, and this puts us hopefully out of the way of his sword. So how it goes from here, so I'm gonna be cross cutting and exiting. And once again, don't start from here, start closer, because if you start here you're gonna be a little bit more late and you don't need this much power in order to redirect his sword. So start closer so that you can catch his sword. So if he cuts like that, just cut, catch it and cut. Same story from the other side. So if I have my right foot forward, so it's on the same side as his sword, my sword is also here. So what I shouldn't do is to step here, because then he will be cutting. And if I'm cross-cutting, I'm not sure how this is gonna be. I'm probably helping him to cut my head off. So we don't want to go here. What we want to go to is to my right and redirect his sword. So he cuts. This is what we are gonna do. He cuts again. Really simple. And as usual, make sure that your sword is not way back here. You don't need this power now. You can have it much closer here. So when he cuts, it's just like that. All right, and then for the legs, it's the same story. For the legs, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult. So if he's cutting from his right to my right foot here, bang, on the leg, yeah. So now if I give more speed to this, the possibility is that I'm just helping him to cut my leg. So I don't want this to happen. So what I need to be able to do is to cut his sword down. And this is really difficult to do. Actually, I'm not recommending this. So if you cut it from there, I should cut his sword down like that. So once again, so if you can do it, fine. It can work. It is possible to do it like that. But you have to be really on time for that. Same story from the left. So he's cutting at my leg here. So what I want to do is push his sword down there so that he cannot cut me, and then I will move, for example, here. So once again, just push it. So you have to push it down. You may have to even go down in order to do it. And then you can cut him. So you can try this, but I don't actually recommend it. Instead, what I recommend to do, so if he starts from the, let's say his left, he's cutting to my leg, I will just do the round cut to start with. So, cut to my leg. So this is much better alternative. So I'm doing the round cut from here. It's opposing the force. It's not following or pushing his sword, but it's safer. So he cuts again. He can't reach me. And then I have the possibility to cut from here if I want. The other side, it's the same story. So he cuts to my leg from his right. Bang! So I don't want that to happen. So I'm using the round cut here. His sword slips away. And then I can follow here. Right, okay. So it's your choice. But to recap this, so we have the possibility to block the opponent's sword like opposing the force, in which case we are moving here. Or the other possibility is that we are here, so then we will push his sword aside, but we are moving here and cutting. Your choice. We are still using the same sword movements. And then there is one more special case for the next one.